In fact, many people think Johnny Somali deserves more than 5 years in jail. We did a poll in my chat, and the vast majority, over 75%, thinks that he deserves over 5 years in jail.
He's not allowed to work.
Yeah.
Not allowed to leave Korea. You know? In a, constant threat of getting jumped, right?
Mm-hmm.
Are more pissed than anybody else on the internet. I'm telling you that right now. They're like, my dad's like, why the are you going to Japan and with these people? Why are you going to Korea and with these people? Why are you doing this? Like, they don't.
Johnny Somali is scrambling to flee South Korea, penniless as he awaits a pivotal October trial where a slew of serious charges will be decided. Once a guy who bellowed into cameras about being untouchable, Johnny now faces the grim prospect of paying a steep price, potentially decades behind bars. The question is, how did someone so brazen who thumbed his nose at the global community end up desperately looking for an escape route? What turned an internet sensation into a cautionary tale of collapse? And will the upcoming trial in South Korea mark the final curtain for Johnny Somali's career? Now let's dive into the latest developments in South Korea that are pushing Johnny Somali to the brink of ruin.
Power chat right now, I swear to God, look at the upstairs. I'm calling the cops right now on the watch. I'm calling the cops right now. I'm calling the Korean cops.
Before becoming synonymous with scandalous lawsuits in South Korea, Johnny Somali was a bona fide internet phenomenon. He shot to fame through his world-roaming live streams, where cultural norms, local laws, and basic decency were turned into fodder for entertainment, all in the name of racking up views. Johnny wandered far and wide, from the sacred grounds of Israel to the bustling cities of Asia like Japan and South Korea. But the hallmark of his travels wasn't cultural immersion, it was the trail of chaos he left behind. Wherever Johnny went, you'd find him streaming from sensitive locations, taunting locals, and brazenly disrespecting the traditions of the places he visited. He even boldly proclaimed himself an international streamer, as if no boundary could hold him back. Yet instead of earning global acclaim, Johnny became a poster child for cross-border provocation. The flood of dislikes and relentless criticism didn't deter him. If anything, it seemed to fuel his belief that he was doing something right by staying in the spotlight. And it was this warped conviction that transformed Johnny from a mere online troublemaker into a full-blown social nuisance wherever he set foot. As Johnny Somali grew accustomed to turning public outrage into fuel for his notoriety, the line between content and breaking the law started to blur. From his days in Japan, where he faced backlash for insulting locals, to South Korea, where he brazenly disrupted bars, convenience stores, and even live-streamed provocative stunts in front of sensitive historical landmarks, his path was unmistakably spiraling downward. Netizens repeatedly sounded the alarm. South Koreans cringed at his tasteless antics, causing a ruckus on buses, blasting music, praising North Korea in public spaces, and harassing locals. Yet, to Johnny, those warnings were mere background noise. He kept smirking into the camera, convinced he was untouchable. But this time, things took a different turn. In November 2024, the warnings stopped, and Johnny found himself hauled away in a local police van for his disruptive behavior at a convenience store.
Somali, say something! Somali, say! Say!
And now Johnny finds himself barred from leaving South Korea, forced to attend court hearings while staring down a potential sentence of up to 12 years in prison. From here, his days of freely drifting from one city to another came to an abrupt halt, replaced by a suffocating reality of dread and confinement. A one-way ticket to what feels like a prison cell. Beyond facing the courtroom, Johnny's caught in a downward spiral, right there on Korean soil. After a string of infuriating live streams, he's become public enemy #1 for South Korea's online community. Wherever he goes, netizens swiftly spread word of his whereabouts, sharing photos and even issuing warnings to steer clear of him.
What's up?
Once a brash figure strutting through the streets, shouting provocations, Johnny now scrambles to conceal his whereabouts, dodging the phone cameras of passers-by. Countless times, sneaky snapshots of him at convenience stores or subway stations have spread like wildfire online, accompanied by biting remarks. Hasn't this guy been deported yet? Or when are the cops going to boot him out? Worse still, Johnny's finances have plummeted. His trouble-stirring videos no longer rake in donations or ad revenue like they once did, leaving him scraping by in dire straits. He's moved in with a Korean associate, leaning on them for loans to cover hefty legal fees. According to his friend Hank in South Korea, Johnny's borrowed $20,000 just to keep his head above water. After a year in the country chasing lawsuits, his resources are utterly drained. But the nightmare doesn't end there. If the upcoming trial delivers an unfavorable verdict, Johnny faces not only prison time, but also the possibility of footing the bill for compensation to victims or businesses he's disrupted. Legal experts in South Korea estimate this could reach hundreds of thousands of dollars, an astronomical sum that in his current state, he has almost no chance of covering. Amid this chaos, rumors are swirling that Johnny Somali is plotting to flee South Korea. While no concrete evidence backs these claims, the mere existence of such talk paints a vivid picture. A once arrogant figure who boasted of being untouchable now quakes in desperation, searching for a way out. But even if Johnny manages to slip out of South Korea, the question looms, where would he go? Back to the US, the place that once indulged his live stream antics. I doubt America would roll out the welcome mat. After a string of scandals, insulting communities, stirring up trouble in public, Johnny has cemented his reputation as an international nuisance. Returning to the States would likely mean facing government scrutiny, public backlash, and doors slammed shut by every major platform. Even his family, the last refuge for most, wants nothing to do with him. His parents, worn down by their son's endless controversies and the shame he's brought upon them, have chosen silence and severed ties. No defense, no legal or emotional support. Johnny Somali has been left to drown in the maelstrom of legal battles and public scorn. To them, he's no longer a son to protect, but a burden, a source of embarrassment no one wants to acknowledge. This stark reality cuts deep. Johnny has lost everything: his career, his freedom, and even his family.
My family disowned me. My dad told me, "You caused the whole world stress. I'm ashamed to be your father." The only thing I'm really tripping over is because my dad told me he does not want me to have kids. So I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna just go back to crashing out. Y'all don't like me anyway. Yeah, I'll make a new family.
The most striking change isn't in the money or the lawsuits, it's in Johnny Somali's spirit. A glance at his demeanor during his 2 court appearances tells the whole story of his downfall. At his first hearing, Johnny clung to his signature bravado, smirking at the cameras, even tossing out provocative quips that mocked South Korea's legal system. It was the same old image of a streamer convinced he was untouchable, using defiance as his shield. But by the most recent court date, everything had shifted. Johnny showed up looking gaunt, his eyes darting nervously, his body trembling as the prosecutor read the charges. The cocky rhetoric was gone, replaced by a heavy silence. That scene laid bare a brutal truth. With the threat of a 12-year prison sentence looming larger, Johnny's mask of arrogance has been stripped away, revealing a man desperately grasping for a way out.
Excuse me, guys. Put them down. No. Okay. Nah, Chad, they don't want to be on camera. They're gonna take a taxi, I think.
Digging deeper, this shift reflects a classic psychological pattern among those who thrive on scandal. At first, Johnny believed the chaos he stirred would shield him, that generating drama would keep the public hooked and outweigh any legal consequences. But once confined within the rigid framework of a courtroom where every word could be wielded as evidence, he was forced to confront a stark reality. The camera, once his ally, had become a damning witness against him. The contrast between the 2 court appearances isn't just a change in demeanor, it's proof of a broader mental unraveling. Johnny Somali's collapse didn't stem from a single verdict, but from a grueling erosion of his public image, finances, and personal psyche. As of now, Johnny has faced 2 court hearings, pleading guilty to 6 charges, including 4 counts of obstruction of business, tied to incidents like disrupting convenience stores, blasting loud music, and other harassing behaviors. 1 count of violating the Special Act on the Punishment of Sexual Crimes, linked to distributing a sexually explicit deepfake video, and 1 count of breaching the Child Welfare Act. Then comes the chilling figure in the prosecution's file, a maximum of 12 years in prison if convicted on all counts. This is no longer drama for a live stream. It's a real sentence that could sever his future entirely. From a sociological perspective, this shift in Johnny Somali's demeanor underscores the formidable deterrent power of South Korea's legal system. In a nation renowned for its discipline and staunch commitment to protecting its cultural values, foreigners who flout the rules are swiftly brought to heel. Johnny, who once believed he could sidestep cultural and legal boundaries with just a smartphone, now stands as a living testament to the limits modern society imposes on transnational streamers. He's no longer an internet phenomenon, but a cautionary tale. Yet Johnny Somali's story isn't just about one person's downfall. It raises a broader issue: the rise of border-hopping streamers who treat the internet as a free pass to trample over cultural and legal lines. His case has pushed South Korea to tighten regulations on foreign online content creators, while sounding a wake-up call for other nations. Not everyone wielding a camera is a harmless tourist. This brings us to a pressing question: is it time for international regulations to rein in the behavior of global streamers, those who can wreak havoc anywhere and then spin the fallout into profit-driven content? Johnny once believed that a camera gave him the freedom to cross any border and scoff at any restriction. But the harsh reality has shown that the more you disregard the rules, the steeper the consequences. In his case, that could mean 12 years in prison, a shattered career, and an image forever etched in the global community's mind as a symbol of decline. From an emblem of reckless devil-may-care fame, Johnny Somali is now left with nothing but panic and fear. A vivid reminder that no streamer can endlessly thrive on drama without paying a price. Do you think Johnny Somali could return to the US within the next 5 years? Drop your thoughts and let us know.